I can't lie to you guys. I made a mistake. Um, in the first video I made on this new channel that I'm working on, I talked about how my only complaint with the Invincible series up to this point was the animation past season one. I did not realize that they were saving the entire budget for the last episode of season three. Like, oh my gosh. I was just on spring break this past week, and the last episode of season three of Invincible came out while I was there. And I was, of course, super hyped to watch it. I obviously really love the show. It's a great show. There's no other way to put it. It's probably one of the best shows I've watched in a long time. But we ended up watching it, me and my entire friend group. We ended up watching it, and we were in disbelief at how amazing this episode was. Like, it was incredible. There was not a single point in that entire episode where I was not like losing my mind. It was like 30 minutes of straight scrapping with Conquest. It was unbelievable. It was crazy. Like I said earlier, though, my only complaint that I had, or that I talked about the last time I was talking about Invincible, was that the animation past season one kind of just went downhill. But that's just not what happened. Yeah, the first couple episodes of season three's animation was kind of mid, but it 100% made up for it in the last episode, because it was... I think they were just saving the budget for the last episode, because it was 30 minutes of them just straight brawling, and it was so cool. I wish I could show you guys this one of the scenes from the last episode of Invincible. I don't want to spoil it though, so I'm not going to. But I don't even know if I can or not. But there's this one scene basically where Conquest, is the scrapping with Invincible, and he basically just throws him into the ground, and it is like 6 seconds of the craziest animation you've ever seen in your life, and it is so cool. It is so amazing. I kid you guys not, me and one of my other friends named Emery watched the last episode of Invincible 3 times. That's how good this episode was. And it's like the only complaint I had, they just took it away like that. They just immediately fixed my only complaint. And I don't know if it 100% excuses the animation for the first couple episodes of season 3, but it damn sure made up for a lot of it, because it was... I mean, the animation was incredible. It was one of the coolest, like, animation fight scenes I've ever seen. I watch a ton of anime. Like, I mean, there are a lot of animes I really like, and the animation for anime is really, really, really good, and a lot better than a lot of American-made animations. But, oh, man, this last episode, the animation was just... it was so good. It was really good. It was kind of funny though, because you could see at like the end of the episode that the animators were clearly tired of working on this episode, because I'm not gonna spoil. I can't really describe the scene exactly, but there's this one scene at the very end of the episode, and they're at a funeral. I'm not gonna say whose, but they're at a funeral. And it's serious. It just pans to them all at the funeral, and they look like they have no emotion. They look like PNGs. So you can kind of tell at the end of the episode that they were sick of animating the Conquest fight. But I mean, honestly, I don't even care. The Conquest fight was legitimately one of the coolest fights I've ever seen. And Conquest's character was insane. I mean, that guy is crazy. I mean, that guy is insane. Like... you have to go watch the episode yourself to see what I mean. But the voice actor for Conquest did an amazing job. They really added some depth to Conquest with this, with when he was in Mark's ear. If you know what I'm not spoiling it, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Conquest was an amazing villain, and it made so much sense the more and more you listen to him. And it just made his character that much more deep and understandable. And it was And you could actually understand why Conquest was so crazy because of what he ends up saying to Mark. I'm not going to say what he said, but it's it was crazy. Like his character developed so much over 30 minutes. It was so cool to watch. Like you could just watch his character develop so much over the course of 30 minutes, and you just understood him more and more as you watched it. And the fight was crazy, and it was I mean, there's a reason me and my friend watched it 3 times. Like it's that good. It is really that good. I highly recommend you go watch it. Another thing that I pointed out in the last video was that I was going to try and get my dad to watch the Invincible show, because I explained that as a kid I used to go to a bunch of superhero movies with him because he really liked the Marvel comics. But guess what, guys? He's already a super big Invincible fan, and he read all the comics as a kid. So which I honestly should have seen coming, knowing him, because he was a really big comic nerd back in the day. But yeah, apparently he's already a really, really big fan of Invincible, and he actually already wants to watch the show. He just hasn't gotten around to it. So I'm actually just gonna go watch it with him. I'll keep you guys updated on that. I'll tell you guys what he thinks. But he's like an Invincible super fan, and I had no clue. I texted him. I texted him when I was on spring break, and he was like, "Dude, no way, you're watching Invincible right now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "Dude, I love that show," or excuse me, "I love that comic." Um, so yeah, that was an awesome interaction I had with my father. But yeah, it's I'm just so glad this show and slash comic exists, because it is peak. It is really peak. Go watch it. Like, seriously. Something else that I thought was pretty cool that I should mention is that since me and my dad are both pretty big Invincible fans, he's actually getting a professional cosplayer to make us Omni-Man and Mark costumes, because my dad relates a lot to Omni-Man, and I feel like I relate a lot to Mark. So getting some professionally done costumes of Invincible and Omni-Man is gonna be pretty cool. I'll make sure to post about. I definitely will post about it. I mean, having an Invincible and Omni-Man costume combo with my dad is pretty cool. So I'll definitely post about it on Instagram. But yeah, you guys will see that once Halloween rolls around. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about. Go watch Invincible. I'm serious. If you like comics, if you like anime, if you like any animated shows, you're gonna love this show. I highly recommend it. But anyway, peace.